I threw out a question on the Facebook page earlier that with all these coaches and mentors and all that out there. I mean, there's 100 of them.
More than that.
Well, okay, yeah, probably. With all that out there, what stands out to people that kind of cuts through? What is important to, like, if you're considering taking a mentorship program, what would cut through all that noise to make you want to work with this person? You see what I'm saying?
What would make me personally?
Well, you and anybody watching.
As in, what do you mean? What would cut through the noise? I'm just trying to understand
Because
the question.
many of them, they all offer the same thing.
Right.
It might be different time lengths and things like that, but it's all pretty much the same with that person's personal spin on it. So, what would stand out to you that would cut through all that and say, like, okay, this guy, he has a mentorship program that includes this. You have a Skype call, you have a phone call, you come to the boot camps, you can, I'll come work with you one-on-one. And this guy over here has a very similar program to that. The pricing might be a little bit different, but, then this guy over here pretty much has the same thing, except you get his ebooks for free. This guy over here, he will work with you one-on-one exclusively, but he lives out of state, or you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Like what cuts through all that would speak to you, that would make you want to work with the guy that you want to work with?
First would be like I would have to hear, like what they're talking about in their videos or content. I have to really like look and see, do I connect with them
Okay.
and resonate with them? Like, are they saying like this is what works for me, and this is the end all be all, like this is what what I'm saying, like what I have to offer, what I could teach you. I can't really get down with that,
Right.
you know. But if it's more like more open and more like, or at least it's more like tailored towards me and my personality and my like style,
Yeah.
as a person, like that's like the hardest thing though, is because most of these guys, they don't meet you in real life.
Right.
Most of these guys, they're going to just put you in a box.
Mm-hmm.
You're just an AFC. You're just, what I'm saying, a guy trying to get laid. You're just a guy that's trying to get a girlfriend. And that's the box they put you in.
Right.
And there's no like real, like friendship or relationship that's built. It's literally all monetary and business and this and that, which I'm okay. Like, I get it. Like, it's a business,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a business that we are like, it's based on results for one. And two, it's based on like, the individuals that we've worked with,
Right. Right.
and uh, I don't know. I've heard a lot of like just horror stories with other companies and this and that. So I would be like, for one, really hesitant. Two is I would be very picky. If I'm going to spend that money,
Yeah.
I'm going to be picky. I'm going to make sure I get exactly what it is I'm looking for.
Right.
Right. So like online like boot camps and mentorships, yeah, those work for people.
Mm-hmm.
Like not that they don't, but not everybody can just do online.
Right.
A weekend long boot camp, I'm sure, what I'm saying, has helped people tremendously in one way or another.
Yeah.
But the truth is, how much does it really help just a couple days? So it's got to be like a, what I'm saying, enough time commitment from their end and mine to be able to truly start seeing results,
Okay. And that's your results, or what you deem as being results, not what they deem being results. Correct?
Well, they should know my results, need to look like. Like there should be a whole consultation period where I literally explain this is where I'm at,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And from there, they should be able to pick that up and say, okay, This is the program that we think is best, and this is what we're going to focus on.
Yeah.
Instead, it's like, okay, well, another guy another guy, you know what I'm saying? Here's some literature, here's some, you know what I'm saying? Like, read this and go do these same things that the guy, you know, that's looking for something completely different did.
Yeah. The guy before you and the guy after you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that would be my thing is want it to be more focused on me.
Yeah. I got you. So individually catered to
Exactly.
to you and your success, and where you feel like that you're the only person that they're working with, so
Right.
to speak. Okay. No, that makes sense.
Does it make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I think I think everybody probably has a different definition as to what they would be looking for in a coach or a mentor.
Mm-hmm.
That's just your example of that, you know. So,
Yeah.
you know, I think that some people are looking for, you know, credentials. I think that some people are looking for, I don't know, man.
What kind of credentials?
Well, credentials in terms of like, okay, for instance, this guy's been around for 20 years doing this, and so he must be effective if he's still in business doing it after 20 years. And so, you know, he's been on this show, that show. He's a name that's been out there for a long time, and has credibility to his name. You know, some people might be looking for that. Some people might be looking for infield video that, you know, show and prove kind of thing, which I personally think infield video is the worst example of somebody's legitimacy on the planet.
I actually I got some videos. That's why we got this little thing right here, the top right. That's my browser because I got a couple videos I want to talk about and go
Okay.
over with you and the audience and just see where everybody's at with that.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So, you know, I mean, everybody has a different definition or a different criteria as to what would be important to them in a coach. But
Down, up, up. Wait, down, stop, up, stop. There you go. Perfect. I think. I don't know. Good enough.
But yeah, you know, so, but to me, like what you're saying, that would be important to me as well. If I was going to hire a coach or something like that, I would definitely want a more hands-on approach as opposed to here's all the steps, go through the steps, and we'll reconvene after you're done with all the steps. I think that's how a lot of those programs are structured. And I'd be curious to know. I know there's no way to ever have a study on this, but I'd be really curious to know the percentage of people who pay for a program that felt like it was worth their money. You know, not everybody's going to complain. Not everybody's
Not
going
everyone's
to
be happy.
right, but
You know?
you know what I mean? I don't.
I've dealt with some pretty difficult cases. In
Yeah.
just a short period of time.
Yeah.
You know, and it's difficult and it's frustrating because it's just like, you know, I've heard it before as like teachers in school and college, high school, or what have you. Like it's sometimes it's really frustrating when you can't help or reach somebody. You know.
Yeah. But that's a two-way street because it could be the teacher or it could be the student.
Yeah.
And it's hard to distinguish who's, from an outside perspective, whose fault it was. Because you can read a review, like if you go on Google reviews for a store or a restaurant or whatever, you're going to have a bunch of 5-star reviews and you're going to have some 1-star reviews.
Mm-hmm.
So who's right? Is it the person with the 5-star that gave the 5-star review, or is it the person who gave the 1-star review? One person says the food is the best food I've ever had in my entire life. The 1-star says, this food is the worst food I've ever had in my entire life.
Yeah, who's actually right?
Is it an isolated incident? You tried it a bunch of times? You know, like it's hard to know who's right, you know, but yeah, I mean, everybody's criteria is probably a little bit different, but I'm curious to know, like, the people watching, what would you be interested in with hiring a coach or a mentor? What would be the things that you would be looking for? You know, what's the stuff that stands out to you that says, okay, this guy is the guy that I'm going to invest in and help me invest in myself to get to where it is that I want to go. What is that thing that would cut through the noise of everybody else, all the other 1,000 other coaches out there? But this guy brings something to the table that resonates with me. I personally, you know, when I was watching, I've never hired a coach or anything like that. But I guess I kind of considered the million hours of YouTube videos that I watched and things like that.
Good enough for coaching.
I kind of considered that my coaching because I didn't have any other options. So, the people that I learned the most from, that resonated with me the most, was people that I felt like that I could be cool with. Like, if I met that person, I would like to hang out with them. They seem like a good cat. I could see myself being friends with that guy. But if their attitude or their delivery or something about them rubbed me the wrong way, I was a lot less likely to, even if their information was solid, it was like I almost didn't want to hear it because I just didn't like their approach.
What's it say?
Oh, okay. One-on-one time, that guy in MI 89 says, one-on-one time, direct coaching, that's a big one. And yeah, for sure. Absolutely. You know, I think that's kind of what Mike was saying, that you want to have that personal feel that you're that person's only client.
Yeah.
So, and one-on-one time direct coaching, do you mean that in the field? Do you mean like a classroom setting, all of the above? Like, what does that look like to you?
I mean, like, okay, so what's the point of one-on-one, right? The point of one-on-one is to have them do what?
All of the above. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you say one-on-one, like, you mean like, okay, well, let's sit down and let's talk about your strengths, your weaknesses. Let's sit down and talk about like a game plan of what you're gonna do. Like, what do you mean by like one-on-one time?
Right.
You know, because we have we get like once a week usually. We try to do one-on-one time.
Yeah.
In which we're doing like a classroom like settings in a sense.
Right.
But like this is also a time where we can work on other things.
Right.
Online profiles. Grooming. Style. You know, those are my favorite things because that's when you get to physically see the change.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why I love it.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it because most guys are very hesitant in the beginning.
Right.
You know, now me sitting down and, you know, doing a little YouTube video with you one-on-one, I don't know how helpful that is, you know, but like diagnosing seeing the individual, like what their sticking points are and what you see, what they're doing, and like kind of fixing that, I think is way more helpful when it comes to like one-on-one.
Yeah.
I think it needs to be a combination of a couple different things.
Right.
So.
He followed up with, I want to know their system from start to finish. I think that that's super important too, that you know where you're going with this and how you're going to get there. Here's the vehicle.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to buy a car, you're going to kind of check it out and test drive it and see how it handles and see how, you know, whatever, the acceleration from the stoplight and, you know, all that kind of stuff, how it brakes and everything. And all that stuff's going to be laid out for you. I think that that's super important, that you have begin to end structure of what that's going to look like and how that's going to work. So I take what works for me from their system. To me, that's that's a delicate road, you know, because if your mentor or coach tells you to do something and you're like, well, that's not for me, and this is somebody that you've already hired to do that, are you not going to try it out? Are you going to discount it because you're just going to say that's not for me?
Yeah.
You know, I can't really get on board specifically with that one. I would say that in the sense of, if I'm going to watch 10 coaches on YouTube, I'm going to take stuff out of that. You know, I'm going to discount some stuff. I'm going to take what I think works for me, things like that. But I'm not paying those people. If I'm paying somebody, I'm paying them to tell me what it is to do. And then if it doesn't work, okay, fine. But I'm at least going to try it to the best of my ability and try to do it with some kind of consistency. And so it's not a one and done type of thing. I'm going to try it a few times at least.
No, I try it, but if it doesn't work for me, then I know to discard it. Yeah, but what if you're committed time and money wise at that point?
Right.
You know, you have to take that into consideration, because we know people that have fought larger companies to try to get money back from services that you're either, you know, a fraction of the way in,
Right.
or services that have already haven't even come about yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, there's a boot camp, you know what I'm saying, seminar, hot seats, you know, galore, coming up, you know, in this area next month.
Right.
And, you know what I'm saying, you signed up for it, and then you decide that, you know what I'm saying, you can't get out of it because you don't want to go to it, or you can't go to it, or you found something different, or you just, you know what I'm saying, like, you just did it because you were sold it.